Snow Eagle, Chanda, Ruben Kamau, Murray with you here for TC Live, and what should be another exciting edition of this show. But what we just saw, Chanda, this was an interesting matchup because Cristian Garin, he started, he looked really good. Stan Wawrinka battled through. He had, 6, 7, 8 set points in that second set, and eventually it was Garin who would come through and remain victorious.
Yeah, it was impressive from Garin. After losing that second set the way he did, recovering, settling himself down, you could see how nervous he was at the end, not able to close it out. But to his credit, he got right back to business, started being more aggressive the way that he got up in that first and second set. And I think in the end, it's even a sweeter victory when you win it that way. You've got to win it a couple of different times.
I think he did a great game plan. His game plan was clearly to get Stan moving early in the point, and he did that almost flawlessly. I think Stan him a gift at the end of the second set by by going to the bathroom and letting Garin kind of sit there and regroup and gather his thoughts. And, if I'm Stan, I'm rethinking that moment there. Perhaps if he had to do it all over again, Stan would keep playing and continue the momentum that he had
Keep
going.
that sweaty shirt on.
Absolutely right.
Don't change colors or anything.
Just keep going.
I know. I'm a big superstitious guy. I would have kept it going. I'm like, hey, listen, if you got it rolling in one shirt, you got to keep the shirt going. But, hey, you live and learn, and Stan will certainly do that. Let's actually talk about the man that Stan lost to in the 2007 Vienna final, because Novak Djokovic playing in the tournament for the first time in 13 years. This is the last time he won it in 2007. He hasn't had to play it because of points, because of different tournaments around the same time. So this was the last time he was in Vienna, and today he takes on Filip Krajinovic, 2 wins away, Chanda, from locking up that year-end #1 once again.
Yeah, and this became a bit of a battle. Krajinovic is a real crafty player, and he's got some weapons, can hit with depth. Djokovic, his movement, the return of serve. You expected all of that to come to bear, but Krajinovic, in the end, kind of gave Djokovic a couple of gifts, got it to the tie-break, but it was Djokovic, again, just slightly steadier. Nice move there by Krajinovic, but the court coverage from Djokovic, it is outstanding, and it came to bear, particularly in this tie-break. Krajinovic, again, had some opportunities there, but a couple of key misses, and Djokovic takes that first set, and that was huge.
Yeah, you think about Krajinovic only serving 54% first serves against not only one of the best returners in the game today, but probably one of the best returners ever. And I think that ultimately cost him the second set and cost him the match.
And so it was Novak Djokovic, not quite as easy as he might have expected against a good friend in Filip Krajinovic, but eventually he does get through. It's 7-6, 6-3 in 1 hour and 58 minutes, and Novak Djokovic will move on to the second round, looking to add another title to his list. It'll be Borna Coric who's waiting for him after this error, and Djokovic eventually does cruise through. And here's what he had to say about his performance after the match.
He knows my game well. I know his game well. First set, I think he was a better player. He was serving for the set, and I was lucky, really. He missed the smash and 6-all in tiebreak. Few points here and there can change the momentum of the match. Obviously, the second set, I kind of stepped it up. I played better, and just pleased the way I finished the match.
Well, Kamau, we talked a great deal yesterday about Novak Djokovic chasing records throughout his career, and he can secure another one, or at least tie it tomorrow. If he does get past Borna Coric in the second round, he'll be 6 different years in his career that he ends the year #1 in the world. Pete Sampras, the only other person to do it. He said that means a great deal to him. This was a good start for him.
One of the things that continues to impress me about Novak is the respect he has for every one of his opponents. If you listen to his speech there at the end of his match there, he paid total respect to his opponent there. And I think the humility to know that you could lose to anybody, but the confidence to know you can also beat anybody is one of the reasons why he is where he is now. And those words he had at the end of the match are just indicative of his approach and his respect for all the players on tour and respect for the game.
Well, I think in particular, just to kind of tag off of that point, in particular the all-time greats, they have a real understanding of what is going on in real time during a match. It's not always easy for players to kind of know and see what's happening. He understood that he was playing better, Krajinovic, that Djokovic maybe got a little bit lucky to get away with that first set. He reset, he improved his game as he went, but it's an understanding of what's going on, of what he needs to do, and of the moment that is really impressive.
Well, we expected Novak Djokovic to roll through this match, and he did to a certain degree. It just was a little bit tougher within each set. Same goes for Dominic Thiem, the defending champion and fan favorite in Vienna. Chanda, he's playing a complete unknown in Vitaly Sachko, and Sachko certainly certainly came to play.
It's always a little challenging when you're playing a player you don't know much about. You weren't expecting to play. In the case of Dominic Thiem, was supposed to have played Kei Nishikori, but he started off well, got off to a quick start 5-1, got a little weird at the end of that first set where Sachko got some confidence, got 3 games in a row, and that confidence helped him to play better in this second set, and it was a fight for Thiem in the end. Again, Thiem was up 4-1 in this set. Sachko came back, really showed a lot of poise. He was solid when he needed to be, and at the end of the match, it was a couple of the best shots from Dominic Thiem that he needed to get out of trouble. Really lucky to get through this one in 2 sets.
And he finished strong, as Chanda mentioned, into the second round where he will take on the man we started the show talking about, Christian Garin. So that should be a fun matchup between Thiem, the defending champ, and Garin. Let's actually flash back to Friday for Karen Khachanov against Dan Evans in Antwerp. This was a very close call towards that sideline. It was called in. Khachanov believed it should have been called out. He went back and forth with the chair umpire Adel Noor, and eventually he took out his frustrations on both the net and the chair, which is interesting because word came today that the ATP is not going to fine Khachanov for any of those wrongdoings, so to speak. He did apologize after the fact, but it all leads into this matchup today with Grigor Dimitrov and Kamau. Dimitrov has been playing some great tennis.
Dimitrov's been playing great tennis, and Khachanov early was very intentional about trying to get the first ball to point to the Dimitrov backhand, and when he did that, he was able to win a lot of points. But you see there, Dimitrov started moving his feet a little bit more, trying to work a little bit harder to get a forehand for the first ball, for the first ball of the match, and I think that made the difference. If you look at the overall match, Dimitrov only won 5 more points than Khachanov. And when you think about a match that's close, those little things make the difference here. You can see Khachanov there serve to the backhand, second ball to the backhand there as well, and having some success, and then Dimitrov ran it down.
And he just neutralizes what he has to neutralize. Eventually, he gets through. This is at 40-love, 5-3 in the second, and it is Dimitrov who delivers in the big moment. He's won 8 of his last 11 matches. He'll play either Jan-Lennard Struff or Stefanos Tsitsipas in the next round, but the 29-year-old is streaking through as we take a look at our featured matches for tomorrow, starting at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Chanda, we'll start with you. What do you like?
You know, it'll be interesting to see where Tsitsipas is against Struff, who's a strong player. That'll be an interesting one. And Casper Ruud and Jannik Sinner, that should be a fun one as well.
Kamau, same question.
You know, I'm looking for the Canadians. I think those two players know each other's games well. Vasek is always a tough match. He's a very mature player, very seasoned. And, you know, I think Felix is up to the challenge, but it's going to be exciting to finish off the day with those two.
As mentioned, Stefanos Tsitsipas could draw Grigor Dimitrov in the next round. Tsitsipas has had a tremendous 2020. He's the ATP final winner last year, looking to potentially repeat that, but this would be a really good first step for him. What are you expecting out of the Greek god?
You know, I think Tsitsipas, if you look at the year in totality, Tsitsipas is probably playing a little bit better. But Grigor is starting to find his stride there. He's starting to work a little bit harder with the feet, hit more forehands than backhands, especially early in the point. And I think if he's able to do that, I think he comes out slightly on top than Tsitsipas.
And Tsitsipas, by the way, it'll be a tough first-round matchup with Jan-Lennard Struff. I know that you're looking forward to that one. Yeah,
I think, you know, these are the matches where you really solidify the confidence. If you're Tsitsipas, who's already had a good year, he's already qualified for the Tour Finals, and I think to back it up and end on a good note, especially these last weeks of the year, that'd be important for him.
All right, still a lot to go through.